Okay, I just really want to show you one. Let's do one more example here. Of course, this is number 16 in your initial work. All right, so remember the first step that we want to do in the problems that you're going to have left to do on your own is you want to clear the equation of all the fractions. That just makes life a lot simpler with these. So the way we do that is by multiplying every term. So this term, this term, this term, this term. We're going to multiply every term by the least common denominator. All right, so we're going to compare our denominators. So we've got 5 here, 5, 5. Then we have a 10 and a 2. All right. If you were adding fractions that had these three denominators, what would be the denominator you would choose to be the least common denominator? Well, it would be 10. Okay, that's just going back to basic math, all right? So we're going to multiply everything, every term by 10. Okay. Okay. All right. So what happens here then is we're going to go ahead and do like cross canceling here, right? So 10 and 5 can both be divided by 5. So that leaves us with a 2 here and a 1 here. So basically the 5 cancels out. Same thing here. This becomes a 2. This becomes a 1. All right, this one, these just both become 1s. Basically, if it becomes a 1, it means it cancels out. All right, and then this becomes a 5. This becomes a 1. So these are both divisible by 2. Okay, so we're going to take whatever's left up here and we're going to distribute it out. All right, so you're going to end up with 6x minus 28. Okay, now this is actually, so this negative sign right here is going to be attached to that 2 right there. So this is actually negative 2. Okay, so negative, I'm going to just kind of bring this up here. Okay, so I'm going to move that negative right up here with this 2. That way okay, so we distribute properly. All right, so negative 2 times positive 5x is negative 10x. And then negative 2 times negative 6 is positive 12. Okay. All right, and then this, nothing changes here. This because everything, this is just 1 times this, which is just still 4x plus 7. And then, okay, so remember, this negative actually goes with this, with the 5 up here. So negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. Okay, so now all we have to do is just combine our like terms. All right, so we combine our like terms. We have 6x and negative 10x. That leaves us with negative 4x. So I like to cross out what the terms that I've already dealt with. I don't have to, just kind of helps me, helps this process to be less confusing. Okay, so I'm left with a negative 28 and a positive 12. Okay, so what's negative 28 plus 12? Okay, it's going to give us negative 16, right? Okay. All right, equals. All right, and then we've got 4x. There's nothing that can be combined with, but we combine the 7 and the negative 25 gives us negative 18. Okay. Well, now we just need to solve for x here, right? We're just solving for x. Okay, so I'm going to bring this 4x over here. So subtracting 4x from both sides. That leaves me with negative 8x. This comes down, minus 16 equals, this cancels, negative 18. Okay, all right, now we're going to bring this 16 over here. So we've got negative 8x equals, okay, negative 18 plus 16 is negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 8. And we get x equals positive 1/4. Right? Negative divided by negative gives a positive. We reduce it down. Okay. All right. So let me, I know it kind of looks like a lot there, but hopefully we can kind of go back through this this last problem here. And this is actually the most difficult problem. We went ahead and just worked it out. So the problems that I'm going to give to you, I probably won't quite have have quite this much. But going back to the beginning, we determined what our least common denominator was, because the way that we clear an equation of all the fractions, because life is so much simpler when there's no fractions, right, is we multiply every term by whatever the least common denominator would be, which in this case would be 10. So we multiplied every term by 10. All right, and then, so what happens here, multiply by 10, you see how it clears the equation of all the fractions. So we did that, and we were left with, when you do your canceling here, we were left with a 2 here, a -2 here, a 1 here, and a -5 here. And then we're just distributing 2 times 3x, 2 times -14 gave us 6x minus 28. -2 times 5x gave us -10x. -2 times -6 gives us positive 12. This, nothing changed here. We just brought it down, 4x plus 7, and then -5 times positive 5 gave us -25. Then we just combined our like terms. We ended up with -4x minus 16 equals 4x minus 18. And then this is just simple algebra. This should be very, like when we get to this step, this should be very, very easy for everybody by now. All we're doing is isolating the variable. We're isolating the variable. So we're bringing, we brought this 4x, we subtracted 4x from both sides, gave us -8x, brought our -16 down, equals -18. Then we added 16 to both sides. This was a -16, so we added 16, that left us with 8x equals, okay, -2. I'm sorry, -8x equals -2. Then we divided both sides by -8, and we got x equals 1/4. Okay, and we're already kind of going long on this, but if you take 1/4 and you plug it into every x here, that's how you would check your work. So when you do that, then what you should get whatever is over here, okay, is going to be equal to whatever is over here. All right, so hopefully this has been a help to you, and I'll talk to you soon.